It's been several days since the debris of the downed Chinese surveillance balloon has been under investigation. But on the 12th of February 2023, the American intelligence agencies revealed what came as a shock to the globe and might strain the U.S.-China relationship forever. After days of intense research, U.S. intelligence agencies have finally revealed that the downed balloon was part of a spy balloon program. According to reports, the Chinese spy balloon operation is part of a global surveillance effort that is designed to collect information on the military capabilities of countries around the world. The balloon flights, some officials believe, are part of an effort by China to hone its ability to gather data about American military bases, in which it is most interested, as well as those of other nations in the event of a conflict or rising tensions. Now, the Chinese spy balloon has raised some serious concerns across the globe, and some nations have already started to review their air security. After the condemnation by the U.S. and the denial from China, the heated debate over the Chinese surveillance balloon took a new turn when other nations confirmed about the presence of similar objects in their airspace. After the downing of the spy balloon, if there was a nation concerned for its airspace, it had to be the UK. After U.S. intelligence revealed that the surveillance balloon operation by China was employed throughout the globe to gather military information. After the discovery that the surveillance balloon program was used by the Chinese military to bring in secretive information from more than 40 countries, concerns have made the British hierarchy review their airspace. Now, let's not forget that there have been tensions between China and the UK over issues such as Hong Kong, Taiwan, and the South China Sea. In particular, the UK has expressed concerns about China's recent actions in Hong Kong, including the imposition of a national security law that has been criticized for eroding democratic freedoms in the region. The UK and China are major trading partners, but there are concerns about issues such as intellectual property theft, market access, and trade imbalances. The UK has also expressed concerns about China's Belt and Road Initiative, which is seen as a way for China to increase its economic and political influence around the world. The UK has been critical of China's human rights record, particularly with regard to issues such as the treatment of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang, Tibet, and the crackdown on pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong. This has led to tensions between the two countries, with the UK imposing sanctions on Chinese officials and companies for their involvement in human rights abuses. But the discovery of the hovering spy balloons has sparked the already straining relation between the two nations. This discovery sent shockwaves through the higher ranks of the British hierarchy, bringing out a statement from Prime Minister Rishi Sunak saying, "We'll do whatever it takes to protect our airspace." Before it was shot down, the Chinese balloon passed over nuclear missile silos in the interior of the continental United States. Observers believe China was seeking intelligence that would help it to build up its own nuclear missile arsenal in the future, which is a serious concern for all nuclear powers. The spy balloons shot down by the U.S. Air Force have stirred significant controversy, but astonishingly, there was another twist in the tale when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stepped in. American and Canadian officials have struggled to explain the origin of three objects that U.S. fighter jets have brought down over North American airspace since a suspended Chinese spy balloon was downed on February 4th off South Carolina's coast after flying across the United States. According to Canadian intelligence, this is not the first time they've seen such a balloon hovering over and violating airspaces. Apparently, such objects have been seen before, but they were taken as meteorological objects rather than surveillance balloons. And who knows what the Chinese regime has accomplished in the past by using those spy balloons. But the question to be asked can be, if the balloons were spotted hovering over Canadian airspace, why weren't they shot down? Now, it is important to note that the North American Aerospace Defense Command is a joint command, which also means that all operations are carried out together, and Canadian and American fighter jets took off together to intercept the object and take it down. After the US, UK, and Canada all stepped in to blame China for its offensive ventures, now it was NATO's turn to step in. But before we move on, make sure you press the like and subscribe button for some constant news about geopolitical shifts and some gossip. According to NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, these incidents form a pattern which demands more vigilance from NATO. Now, this growing apprehension between NATO and China is not new. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance of 30 North American and European countries, formed in 1949 to counter the perceived threat from the Soviet Union during the Cold War. In recent years, however, NATO has shifted its focus to new security challenges, including the rise of China as a global power. While NATO and China do not have direct military confrontations, there are apprehensions between them due to several reasons, and the latest reason being the appearance of Chinese spy balloons. One major area of concern is China's increasing military and economic influence, which some see as a threat to the global balance of power. China has been expanding its military capabilities, building up its navy, and projecting its power across the world, including in areas such as the South China Sea, which is disputed by several countries in the region. Another issue that has caused apprehension between NATO and China is the ongoing debate over the origin of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some NATO countries have accused China of not being transparent enough about the outbreak and spreading misinformation, which has led to an increased tension and distrust. Furthermore, NATO and China have different views on a range of global issues, including human rights, democracy, and cybersecurity. NATO has expressed concern about China's treatment of its minority Uyghur population in Xinjiang and its crackdown on democracy in Hong Kong. Additionally, NATO has criticized China for its cyber espionage activities, including the theft of intellectual property and sensitive information. Now, the spy balloon incident has stirred a fresh ground for NATO and China to go battle it out, and what lies ahead might redefine the course of history forever. The Chinese balloon over the U.S. skies has triggered a diplomatic storm. The United States' dramatic decision to shoot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon over the weekend after it flew across the country has highlighted the growing trust gap between the two superpowers, raising fresh questions about whether Sino-American ties can be stabilized amid fears of a new Cold War. The balloon, which China had earlier claimed was a civilian airship, had spent several days flying over North America before being shot down just off the coast of South Carolina inside U.S. airspace. It was taken down with a single missile fired from an F-22 fighter jet. Now, the U.S. is claiming that Chinese spy balloons have flown high over 40 countries in 5 continents, and also flown 4 times previously over U.S. territory before being spotted. American officials are not saying when and how they knew about these other flights, but they say they are consulting affected allies and partners to galvanize a global response to China's balloon operations and put a stop to them. The spy balloon controversy has stirred debate throughout the globe, and who knows, the situation might become sensitive in the days to come. But the million-dollar question is, if this spy balloon was detected and shot down, who knows what other regions are being surveyed by this hovering object, and that too unnoticed? Will the spy balloon conspiracy lead to a paradigm shift in global politics, or will the two superpowers manage it over the table? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Make sure you press the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.